name is Elise. I have schizoaffective bipolar type. I also have PTSD, general anxiety disorder, and anorexia. I was initially told about Bridgehaven by an art therapist I was seeing, and so I came for a tour here, and I wasn't sure it was the right fit for me. A year later, I had a friend at the time, and she was telling me about the place, and she told me about the Coping with Voices group, and she's like, you need to come. And I started coming to the Coping with Voices group, and I have visual, auditory, and tactile, so I hear, feel, and see things. So it's very scary. And I came here and I heard other people's stories of hearing and seeing things, and for once I didn't feel alone, and that was very validating. A lot of self-harm, a couple hospital visits, I think a total of 4 or 5, a lot of suicidal thoughts, attempt or two, a lot of silence and suffering on my own, and just a lot of misery, because no one wanted to hear about it, no one cared. It was very lonely. I didn't have anyone. I started to express those to my parents, and they got me into therapy, and I started taking medication, and things started to go okay for a while. And about yearly in February, I'd start to have hallucinations again. I went to college. I hadn't cut in several years. I was doing okay. I'm 6.5 hours away from home, and I decided I don't need meds anymore. And I was without meds. My ESA died, and I circled the drain. I started hallucinating. I barely got out of bed. I stopped going to classes. I was getting very suicidal. So I wake up my roommate. I'm like, you need to take me to the hospital or you're waking up to a dead roommate. I literally told her that. So she took me to the hospital and stayed in the hospital with me all night. And my parents drove the 6.5 hours down from Indiana to North Carolina. And I went home with them because they didn't have any beds at the hospital. So learning different art mediums is a lot of fun for me, and it expands like what I can do. I love arts and crafts. It's so much fun for me, and so being able to learn new mediums, it just opens the horizon. When I get into the art room, I usually it's very like a community almost. When we get into the room, there's already so many people doing their different projects, and it's fun. We're all talking while working on our projects. It's a community sense. Like, we're all doing our individual things, but we're talking about random stuff. Like, me and one of my friends are in there a lot doing our separate things, and it's just like girl chat time. If I need guidance, the art therapists and peers are there to like guide us, and I'm like, hey, this thing isn't going right. How do I fix this? It gives me an outlet so I don't have to focus on all the bad stuff. It's like a reprieve. It gives me time to not think about everything and gives me peace. When I'm having a really bad day, I know Bridgehaven is a place I can come to and get support. And it's not always been that way, because when I first started coming here, I would have panic attacks and think I need to run home. But as I've been here longer, I've realized the peers are here for me. All the therapists, even not just my specific one, is here to support me. And I've come to find this place to be a sanctuary for me, because I can come here and I know I'm safe. I can sit outside and feel the sun, and there's going to be peers coming outside to feel the sun, and they'll be like, hey, Elise, what's up? And they can just tell when I'm upset, and they'll be like, hey, you want to talk? and they just can tell how I feel just based on my demeanor and my, how I look and I'm acting because they know me.
Donate today by clicking the link below. Or learn more at bridgehaven.org.